Hi everyone. So let's welcome to our next topic, which is on the case of Berubari Union versus Unknown 1960. Now, what is the need for this case? See, we have done two cases earlier, Golaknath case and Keshwananda Bharati case, and it was needed to understand about the amendments of the topics related to the amendments of the Constitution, and then how the basic structure doctrine was evolved by the judiciary. Now, when we have done the topic of union and its territories, see, please understand, we have not yet specifically talked about only those union territories. Okay, that is going to be the subject matter for the next class. But in general, union of India, which includes the states and the territories, and then we have seen that okay, we have three categories of the territories under the Constitution, article number 1. Now that we have done about the evolution of the states and territories also, and we have seen that what are the changes that can be done by the parliament even without having any consideration of the states, for the 4 articles that we have covered from 1 to 4. The next question that arose was that you can see on the screen, which is saying that what is the parliament's power under the original constitution regarding ceding of Indian territory. What does ceding of Indian territory mean? Giving it to some other foreign territory. So one way is like acquiring from the foreign areas and integrating it into the Union of India. Another is that you are giving a part of Indian territory, ceding a part of Indian territory to some other external power. So here the question is that okay, for article 1 to 4 there is nothing needed as Constitutional Amendment Act under article 368. That was clearly mentioned. But then what about if the parliament has to give a part of Indian territory to some other territory? What it needs to do in that case? So that was the question which first arose in the case of this Berubari Union 1960 case. Because here the question was that if the parliament is having the power to diminish the area, तो क्या इस diminish, if you are giving a part of your territory, that is decreasing or diminishing your area? So does it also include giving any part of Indian territory to a foreign country? This was the question, and that is why we need to analyze this case. So we'll try to see, like we have done earlier, a few pointers related to this particular case, which is your Berubari Union versus Unknown. At many places you must have come across the name of this case. Now the idea is ये Berubari Union क्या है? So this is a part of area in West Bengal region. ठीक है, इसी को लेके ये सवाल उठना जो है वो शुरू हुआ था. So part of area in West Bengal. यहाँ से जो हैं वो चीज़ें part of a territory, if you say so, let's put it this way, part of territory in West Bengal. The territory was known as Berubari Union. So now we have to see that how the things unfolded. Firstly, अगर हम introduction पे बात करते हैं तो the whole you would say the case has been related to the exchange of territories between India and Pakistan. So there was one agreement. अब उस agreement पे अभी हम पहुँचेंगे because we'll see the whole background. उसको एक story की तरह हम cover करने की कोशिश करेंगे. So if we try to see the background of it, what happened? Firstly, we need to understand what happened in the case of Indian Independence Act 1947. जब इंडिया और पाकिस्तान बना तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? Here it was told that boundaries of India and Pakistan to be determined by, if you have done in your modern Indian history, you should already know this, by award. Here award means you can say the decision of a boundary commission, and that boundary commission was to be appointed by the Governor General. So the Governor General would appoint a boundary commission, and that would give a decision, or you can say a award, that would decide that what would be the boundary of India and Pakistan. Okay, it was set under this. So here the Governor General appointed a commission under the chairmanship of Sir Cyril Radcliffe. आप उसको Radcliffe Commission के नाम से भी जानते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये कमीशन जो है वो सेटअप की गई, and he was the chairperson. देन इस कमिटी के जो recommendations थे, that had certain you would say errors in that. There were certain errors related to the depiction of map which resulted in a boundary dispute. So यहाँ से क्या आया? Some erroneous depiction of map that resulted in the boundary dispute. बाउंड्री सेटअप करने के लिए इस कमीशन को बैठाया गया, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द रीजंस इट हैड द डिस्प्यूट. अब डिस्प्यूट आया तो फिर क्या हुआ? डिसाइड किया गया that it has to be done by the dignified authorities, that we need to have some settlement regarding the agreement then. So who were the dignitaries between whom this agreement was you would say finalized? So 1958 में agreement happened between the then prime ministers of both the countries. So we had Jawaharlal Nehru and Mr. Firoz Khan Noon from Pakistan. So it is also called as Nehru-Noon Agreement of 1958. So either word you can find elsewhere. So remember this point. So to settle down the boundary dispute, which had arisen because of certain issues related to the Radcliffe Committee, you would say the depiction of map. So they came out with this agreement. और यहाँ पे they of course have multiple provisions in that. But according to one provision, they said, we are just discussing the relevant provision here. So according to one provision of this agreement, it was decided that there will be division of the Berubari Union, ठीक है, this territory in Western Bengal, and this was in the Jalpaiguri district. तो यहाँ पे बोला गया कि इसको डिवाइड कैसे करेंगे? हॉरिजॉन्टल डिवीजन कर देते हैं. लेट्स हैव द हॉरिजॉन्टल डिवीजन. हाफ area would go to Pakistan and remaining half जो है which is adjacent to India will be retained in India itself. This was decided. And another provision was also about the exchange of enclaves between India and Pakistan. Now let's understand what are enclaves here, because you'll come across this term when we discuss abhi the Bangladesh issue also, once we finish the Pakistan issue. So let's say you have this territory, ठीक है, let's say this is Indian territory, but within this you had certain smaller area. Let's say here the Pakistani region would come, and or let's say any other country like Bangladesh के केस में हो गया या कुछ हो गया. So that here the ethnicity of the people, the language of the people, the culture of the people would be very very different from this region. So let's say if you have areas like this, so let's say यहाँ पे इंडिया के लोग रहेंगे, यहाँ बांग्लादेश वाले, फिर यहाँ पे इंडिया, फिर उसके अंदर अगर ऐसा कुछ है कि बांग्लादेश, समथिंग लाइक दिस कैन हैपन. इनक्लेव वुड मीन अ टेरिटरी विद इन अ टेरिटरी दैट वुड बी वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम वॉट इज एग्जिस्टिंग आउटसाइड. So it was also said that we'll have the exchange of enclaves between India and Pakistan, and here it was about exchange of enclaves for enclaves. मतलब you give me my enclave, I'll give you your enclave. ठीक है, this is what it was decided. So two things happened, बेरूबारी यूनियन को लेके और enclaves के exchange को लेके in this agreement. But the issue was कि फिर क्या problem आया when the whole settlement was done? Why this case arose? The case arose because there were certain legal issues involved while implementation of this agreement. Which agreement? Nehru-Noon Agreement of 1958. So certain legal issues were involved. Let's try to understand what were the legal issues involved. Firstly, they said that whatever implementation of the agreement that you're trying to have, if this requires, so the question was, if this implementation requires any legislative action. अब इस any में, this any would encompass of, so it said that either by way of parliamentary law under Article 3, which is increasing area, decreasing area, name, boundary, etc., all of that, or a suitable amendment is required, or a suitable amendment is required under Article 368 of Constitution. So the question was between Article 3, Article 368 or both. कि दोनों में चेंजेस लाने की ज़रूरत है. दिस वॉज द क्वेश्चन दैट अरोज. अब थोड़ा सा रिस्क यहाँ पे ये हो रहा था दैट देयर वॉज अ चांस दैट दिस इज गोइंग टू बी क्वेश्चन इन द कोर्ट ऑन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैलिडिटी ऑफ द इनक्लेव एक्सचेंज एंड द डिविजन ऑफ बेरूबारी यूनियन, बिकॉज दिस इशू हैड ऑलरेडी अरिजन and the matter was supposedly going to be in the court. So when such kind of matter exists, there is a provision in our constitution which is article 143, जहाँ पर कि प्रेसिडेंट के पास पावर होता है कि वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट से सजेशन ले सके. लेट्स सी व्हाट इट इज़. So here what happened, as I just said, we'll see what it is, that president thought, because there was a risk that okay, this is going to be to the court only, so the president thought it necessary to take opinion of whom? Supreme Court under आर्टिकल 143 एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास इन्होंने मैटर भेज दिया. अब देखते हैं कि आर्टिकल क्या कहता है. दिस इज आर्टिकल 143 विच रीड्स एज पावर ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट टू कंसल्ट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. विल डू व्हेन वी डू दिस टॉपिक. ठीक है, अभी के लिए जस्ट फॉर दिस रेफरेंस एज वी हैव हियर. सो इफ एट एनी टाइम, कभी भी अगर it appears to the president that a question of law or fact, so the question can be either a legal question or something factual related, that a matter has arisen or it is likely to arise. So even if the matter has not arisen but there is a probability for it to arise, which is of such a nature and such public importance that it is expedient to obtain the opinion of Supreme Court. कि ऐसा लगे, उसका नेचर, उसका पब्लिक इंपॉर्टेंस ऐसा हो, अगर प्रेसिडेंट को ऐसा लगता है दैट वी नीड टू ऑब्टेन द ओपिनियन ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ही मे, मतलब प्रेसिडेंट में रेफर द क्वेश्चन टू दैट कोर्ट फॉर कंसिडरेशन एंड द कोर्ट में आफ्टर सच हियरिंग एज इट थिंक्स फिट रिपोर्ट टू द प्रेसिडेंट इट्स ओपिनियन देयर ऑन. तो फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपना ओपिनियन दे सकती है. ठीक है, ऐसे करके एक प्रोविजन है. तो प्रेसिडेंट रेफर्ड द मैटर टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट आस्किंग सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस. अब पहला तो वही था क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, व्हाट वर द क्वेश्चंस दैट वर पोस्ड. वेरी मेजर क्वेश्चन वाज दैट इज एनी लेजिस्लेटिव एक्शन नेसेसरी फॉर implementation of agreement with respect to Berubari Union. So the agreement that is related to the Berubari Union, is any legislative action is necessary for its implementation, and that of course included this question. ठीक है, 368 of both. And another question was very important, if so, which means if any legislative action is required, so is it, I'm just writing it in short because I have already explained the matter above. So is it going to be under Article 3 or under Article 368 amendment is needed, or both is needed. ठीक है, so either of them is needed or both is needed. This was the question that was posed. Now what were the arguments that came up in this case? When we try to understand the arguments, अब यहाँ पे बाय यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया, इंडियन यूनियन के साइड से जो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स रखे गए, पहला ये उन्होंने बोला दैट द अग्रीमेंट इज मियरली अ recognition of boundary that was already fixed. क्योंकि boundary तो already fixed करी दी गई थी by the Radcliffe Commission. There were certain issues related to the depiction of map and therefore this had come up, right? So it was said by the union that already the agreement only includes recognition of boundary that was already fixed and is not the substitution of a new boundary. ठीक है, या फिर ऑल्टरेशन या सब्सटीट्यूशन तो है ही नहीं, यहाँ पे नया बाउंड्री तो हम नहीं ला रहे हैं ना, बस उसके कुछ मैटर्स को हम सेटल डाउन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. अनदर आर्ग्यूमेंट वाज दैट इफ एनी पार्ट ऑफ टेरिटरी इज टू बी yielded to पाकिस्तान, अगर कुछ ऐसा आपको देना भी है as per the boundary commission award, it does not amount to cession of territory. Understand this point. Cession means giving away of your area to another one. But here they are telling that if any part is to be given to Pakistan, but because it is as per the Boundary Commission Award, which means decision of the Radcliffe Boundary Commission, then it is their decision. So you are not giving a part of your territory. So why it is considered, or what it is considered? They said that it is only a mode of settling, because the decision has already been taken by them. You are not taking this decision. Decision is taken by them. You are not just trying to settle this down by giving certain territory. So you are actually not ceding your territory. And because you are not ceding your territory, definitely the third argument will come. So no legislative action is required. जब आप कुछ कर ही नहीं रहे हो तो फिर क्या ज़रूरत है कि legislative action की? This was the point that was put forward, or the arguments put forward by the Union of India. Now that you understand that, see, this was not a ordinary case like the other case where two parties were involved. This was a matter which was a reference by the president to the court. ठीक है, the issue was कि इस reference की ज़रूरत पड़ी because ऐसा situation जो है हमारे सामने आ गया था. So because it was a matter of reference, एक तरफ से argument अगर गया from government of India side, so of course there had to be some counter argument also, the rival contention as such, but no other party was involved, right? So rival contention में जो points दिए गए उसमें क्या था counter argument? Firstly, it was said that Parliament has no power to cede any part of Indian territory to, of course, a foreign state, either by ordinary legislation or by amendment. It was clear cut mention. अभी इसका background हम समझेंगे. And another thing that was said, that only opinion, because it was asking, the presidential reference was asking for Supreme Court's opinion, so only opinion that Supreme Court can give on reference is that the agreement is void, the Nehru-Noon agreement is void and can't be made effective even by any legislative process. This was said. ठीक है, अब ये जो rival contention आया, what were the grounds of that contention, like counter arguments? So grounds of the counter argument, किस basis पे this observation was made? Firstly, it was said that preamble has nowhere mention. ठीक है, preamble में there is no mention of Parliament's power to cede any territory. And also, if you talk about Article 1(3)(c), if you remember the three categories of the territories that we did in this article, if you have not if you're not able to recall, you can just check the previous lectures for this article's reference, wherein it was said that the territories of India would include the states, the UTs and the acquired territories. So it was said that this article also mentions only the acquired, मतलब आप जो लोगे, the territories that you will acquire. So it mentions only the acquired territories and not about or nothing about any ceding of territory. ठीक है, this was the grounds on which this observation was made, that this cannot be done by the Parliament. Now comes the time when the judgment was given कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस केस में बोला क्या. जजमेंट में जो चीज़ सामने आई, वहाँ पे सबसे पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या कंक्लूड करा कि ये जो एरिया को डिवाइड करना, इट हैज़ टू बी डिवाइडेड हाफ मैनर में, एंड दे डिड नॉट ट्राई टू एक्चुअली अटेम्प्ट टू इंटरप्रेट द नेहरू-नून अवार्ड. उन्होंने उस रेफरेंस में कोई बात नहीं करी, और ना तो दे सेड दैट ओके दिस अवार्ड शुड मीन लाइक दिस और दैट, दे डिडंट से दैट. What they said about, firstly, this preamble related point, that why are you even referring to the preamble to make certain point, and then in this judgment it came, though we have done it earlier in the topic of preamble, that it is not a part of the constitution, but this judgment came in this context. So here it was decided that preamble is firstly not a part of constitution. ठीक है, इस पे prelims में question भी आया हुआ है. And secondly, they said that article 1(3)(c से, ये वाला जो reference है, यहाँ से it of course does not confer the power to cede territories. ठीक है, here the mention only was about the acquiring or acquisition of territories. Then it was also said that under Article 368 the power to amend the constitution includes the power to amend Article 1 also. ठीक है, कि under Article 368 amending power, पहले तो फंडामेंटल राइट्स को लेके इश्यू था, ठीक है, वो तो फिर अलग केस में था, यहाँ पे तो अभी हम 1960 में ही हैं, बट हियर इट इज सेड कि अमेंडिंग पावर इंक्लूड्स अमेंडमेंट टू आर्टिकल 1 ऑल्सो. ठीक है, दैट इज इट कैन बी सीडेड. देयर इज आर्टिकल 1 में, तो इफ़ यू आर नॉट इवन एक्सप्लिसिटली मैंशनिंग अबाउट इट, ठीक है, देयर इज नो एक्सप्लिसिट मैंशन, but the power to acquire because India is a sovereign country, right? So the power to acquire a territory or to give a territory, these both are essential attributes because the country is sovereign and can take its own decision. So here it includes the power to cede a territory also. But then it was also said that when you are doing the cession, like when you are giving a territory to the another one, it is also symbolizing that you are transferring the sovereignty over that territory, because till this point of time you have the power over this territory, but now that you are giving this part of territory to somebody else, you are also transferring that sovereignty to the other you would say body, or let's say the country. So when such a huge change is being made, of course a legislation is needed. So it says that it includes amendment to Article 1 also, that is both cession plus acquiring, because they are very important attributes of sovereignty, and because in ceding a territory you would be giving or transferring the sovereignty also, there is legislation needed. So some legislation is important to implement, because this was the question that was asked in the presidential reference, if we require it, if you remember this. So the question that was asked in the reference was, is any legislation is required for the amendment or not, and if it is needed वो कौन से article के अंडर में आएगा. The first question it was answered that yes, some legislation is important to be here existing in this case of implementation of this agreement. And then it was also said that here, because under Article 3 में there is no reference about the UTs, so to cede legislation with respect to Article 368 needed. The two questions that was asked was clearly specified, and the same thing they said for the enclaves also. So it was, what is the final thing that we can come out from this judgment? Like, one, firstly, preamble is not a part of the constitution, so do not make any argument saying that what is mentioning in the parliament, if it is being followed in reality or not. Secondly, Article 1(3)(c), yes, that was accepted, that yes, it does not confer any power to cede the territory, but under Article 368, the amending power would include amendment to Article 1 also, and their cession and acquiring territory both are important parts of sovereignty, because a country is sovereign and is allowed to take its own decision कि उनको कौन सी territory रखनी है या देनी है. And when you are transferring the sovereignty of some part of your territory to some other foreign power, that is a huge change, and therefore definitely a legislation is required for the implementation of such agreement, and it is needed. तो इस केस में आर्टिकल 3 में तो कोई रेफरेंस ही नहीं है, इसलिए 3 को साइड रखेंगे, बट अंडर आर्टिकल 368 विल मेक द अमेंडमेंट्स. सो इन शॉर्ट जो चीज़ यहाँ से निकल के सामने आई कि अ लेजिस्लेटिव एक्शन इज़ नेसेसरी फॉर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. A law of parliament under Article 3 will not be competent, and therefore under Article 368 a law is important and necessary here, and the same thing needs to be done for the exchange of enclaves also. Now that this was done, what impact did it have? ठीक है, तो इम्पॉर्टेंस में तो आई थिंक यू कैन राइट, लाइक फ्रॉम द जजमेंट ओनली यू विल गेट द इम्पॉर्टेंस. इम्पैक्ट में यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट पार्लियामेंट इनैक्टेड an act, क्योंकि अब बोल दिया गया ना कि amendment of the constitution is needed. So for to resolve this particular matter, the parliament enacted 9th Constitutional Amendment Act 1960 to give effect to the Nehru-Noon Agreement of 1958. ठीक है, एंड बेरूबारी यूनियन का ट्रांसफ़र भी हो गया एंड इनक्लेव्स का जो आपको एक्सचेंज करना था वो सब भी हो गया. एवरीथिंग हैपेंड. So this was all about what things came out in the Berubari Union case. So if somebody asks you the question that how can an Indian territory be ceded to another foreign state, it can be only done by amending the constitution under Article 368. ठीक है, it cannot be done just by normal legislation under Article 3 or any other article. ठीक है, it cannot be done. अब क्वेश्चन आया, ठीक है, बाद में थोड़े वक्त के बाद में रिलेटेड टू बांग्लादेश. इसका भी एक बैकग्राउंड है जो हम समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो इट्स अ स्मॉलर सेगमेंट जहाँ पे बात आई एक्सचेंज ऑफ टेरिटरीज. जब बांग्लादेश बन गया तो विद बांग्लादेश. पहले हम बैकग्राउंड समझ लेंगे, देन व्हाट वाज द इम्प्लीकेशन दैट हैपेंड उसको समझते हैं. Now in the background many of the stories of course are similar related to these cases and all of that which has happened. So I'll just quickly revise. Firstly, ठीक है, you need to know that India and Bangladesh just share a land boundary. ठीक है, इंडिया और बांग्लादेश की जो आपकी कॉमन लैंड बाउंड्री है दैट इज़ रफली अराउंड दिस. तो अच्छी खासी बाउंड्री है. अब क्या हुआ कि अर्लियर बांग्लादेश वॉज पार्ट ऑफ अर्लियर पाकिस्तान, ईस्टर्न पाकिस्तान. So earlier India and Eastern Pakistan, the entire boundary issue was determined by the Radcliffe Award of 1947. Then then certain dispute arose out of that, and to settle down that dispute, the agreement between Mr. Nehru and Mr. Noon happened in 1958. ठीक है, this much you know. अब क्या हुआ कि बिकॉज द इशू विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द डिवीजन ऑफ बेरूबारी यूनियन, और वो तो बंगाल साइड ही है, वेस्ट बंगाल का रीजन था, सो दैट वॉज चैलेंज बिफोर द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. देन द पार्लियामेंट पास दिस 9th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट. ठीक है, दैट वी नीड टू कंप्लाई टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ओपिनियन. बट हियर इन दिस एक्ट ओनली व्हाट हैपेंड, सो द रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी इज रिपीटेशन, सो आई एम नॉट राइटिंग इट. अब ये जो 9th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट आया था टू गिव इफेक्ट टू दिस, अभी तक बांग्लादेश देखिए बना नहीं है. ठीक है, सो हियर व्हाट हैपेंड, दिस एक्ट although it was passed for the issue settlement, but it could not be notified in respect of territories in फॉर्मर ईस्टर्न पाकिस्तान, मतलब जो प्रेजेंट डे बांग्लादेश है. ठीक है, बिकॉज देयर वॉज कंटिन्यूस लिटिगेशन हैपनिंग कि कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, मतलब काफ़ी कुछ इशू चल रहा था. सो ड्यू टू कंटिन्यूस लिटिगेशन एंड ऑल्सो पॉलिटिकल डेवलपमेंट इन द रीजन, सम हाउ दिस कुड नॉट बी नोटिफाइड इन दैट ईस्टर्न रीजन और द बांग्लादेश, प्रेजेंट डे बांग्लादेश रीजन. देन वॉट हैपेंड, मे 1974 में देर वॉज, और फिर बीच में क्या हुआ 71 में बांग्लादेश का जो है लिबरेशन हुआ. तो उसके बाद 74 में अग्रीमेंट बिटवीन इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश हैपेंड फॉर सोल्यूशन ऑफ डिमार्केशन ऑफ लैंड बाउंड्री, क्योंकि वो क्लैरिफाई नहीं हो पाया था पहले ईस्टर्न पार्ट में. ठीक है, लेकिन देयर वर सर्टेन इश्यूज, सो नो रैटिफिकेशन हैपेंड ड्यू टू ट्रांसफ़र मैटर इन्वॉल्व. ईजिली इसलिए नहीं हो सकता था क्योंकि यहाँ पे ट्रांसफ़र मैटर इन्वॉल्व था. यहाँ पे भी कुछ एरियाज जो है इनको ट्रांसफ़र करने थे, एंड ट्रांसफ़र के लिए व्हाट वाज नीडेड, अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट वाज नीडेड दैट वाज ऑलरेडी क्लैरिफाइड इन द 1960 जजमेंट. तो अब यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा जो प्रॉब्लम आने लगा, तो फिर इट वॉज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड, दे अंडरस्टूड दैट वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट व्हाट इज़ द एग्जैक्ट एरिया ऑन द ग्राउंड, प्रिसाइज एरिया इन कैलकुलेशन एंड एवरीथिंग दैट वी नीड टू ट्रांसफ़र. तो अब ये जो सारा इश्यूज़ होने लगा, ठीक है, ईदर विथ डिमार्केशन ऑफ द बाउंड्रीज और टेरिटरीज जो कि आपके पोजीशन में रहेंगी, देन एक्सचेंज ऑफ इनक्लेव्स विद बांग्लादेश ऑल्सो हैपन. ठीक है, तो इंडिया का रीजन है, फिर बांग्लादेश का है, फिर इंडिया का है, बांग्लादेश का है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस हैपेंड एंड दिस इंटायर इश्यूज़, ऑल ऑफ दीज इश्यूज़ वॉज रिजॉल्व्ड इन 2011 बाई साइनिंग अ प्रोटोकॉल. मतलब इतने टाइम से द इश्यूज़ वर गोइंग ऑन, सो साइनिंग अ प्रोटोकॉल इन 2011, और this formed a part of the land boundary agreement between India बांग्लादेश का, ये वाला जो यहाँ पे हुआ था 1974 का. ठीक है, अब ये जो प्रोटोकॉल बना था that had the consideration of the different northeastern states also which were involved, you know, like in the land dispute or the boundary dispute like Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura, West Bengal. इन सब से concern करके ये सब कुछ decide किया गया. And finally, so if we just conclude that finally what happened, so by 100th, क्योंकि as I just said that a constitutional amendment was needed, so somehow it couldn't get sorted earlier, but by 100th Constitutional Amendment Act 2015, this was passed to give effect to acquiring certain territories by India and also transfer some territories to Bangladesh in pursuance of agreement that you already know just now, and the protocol. तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ बांग्लादेश के बीच में जो भी डिसाइडेड हुई ये सारी चीज़ें हुई. तो ट्रांसफ़र कैसे हुआ? इंडिया गेव 111 इनक्लेव्स यहाँ से ट्रांसफ़र हुए टू बांग्लादेश, और बांग्लादेश से 51 इनक्लेव्स जो हैं वो ट्रांसफ़र होके इंडिया आए. Also there was transfer of some other positions and, you know, some border stretch, etc, etc. This is just enclave का I am telling you. So finally, अब because यहाँ पर it had inclusion of certain states also, as I just said, some eastern states. So यहाँ पे it modified this Constitutional Amendment Act provisions with respect to territories of Assam, West Bengal, मेघालय एंड त्रिपुरा. क्योंकि ये सब कहाँ मेंशन होता है? इफ़ यू रिमेंबर व्हाट डज द फर्स्ट शेड्यूल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन सेज? इट सेज द स्टेट एंड द टेरिटोरियल एक्सटेंट. तो अब अगर आप इन सब से कुछ हिस्सा हटा करके बांग्लादेश में दे रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली दी स्टेट्स के साथ जो कि इनके सहमति से दिस प्रोटोकॉल वॉज रीच्ड, बट स्टिल द फॉर्मल अमेंडमेंट वुड ऑल्सो बी नीडेड इन द शेड्यूल 1 ऑल्सो. सो दिस वॉज ऑल्सो डन. सो दिस इज़ हाउ वी हैव रिजॉल्व दिस मैटर in this particular case only with Pakistan and Bangladesh. ठीक है? So I hope now the Berubari Union case and how we can transfer. Basically the entire question revolved around that if you have to give a part of your territory to a foreign country, what kind of changes do you need to have as per the law? So you do not need to have as such a ordinary legislation as per Article 3. You just need to have a Constitutional Amendment Act under Article 368. That was the whole idea. ठीक है? So अच्छा, अनदर क्वेश्चन वाज ऑल्सो, लेट्स से अगर हमें एक शॉर्ट पॉइंटर, एक बस छोटा सा पॉइंट है, उसको आप ये भी लिख सकते हैं कि 1969 में, ठीक है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये भी बोला दैट नो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट, व्हेन यू आर ट्रांसफरिंग अ टेरिटरी देन यू नीड अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट, बट नो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट इज नीडेड फॉर settlement of a boundary dispute. If a boundary thing is already clear, but let's say there is some dispute that is happening, तो for the settlement of dispute you do not need a constitutional amendment. एग्जीक्यूटिव एक्शन से ही आप उसको कर सकते हो, गवर्नमेंट के हेल्प से ही आप उसको कर सकते हो. बट इफ़ यू हैव टू ट्रांसफर अ टेरिटरी देन यू नीड अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट. सो रिमेंबर दी स्मॉलर पॉइंट्स सो दैट इन प्रीलिम्स दीज कैन बी आंसर्ड वेरी केयरफुली. Thank you so much guys, hope you enjoyed the session. Meet you in the next one. Take care till then, bye bye.